So I think what we'll actually do is we'll start with the very first project. So I started with the chaotic Venice Wall, but the actual first project of this business was the KayATick mixtape. And I guess in business, for me anyway, if you don't have any capital or you don't have any ways of getting any money, or you don't have any ways of really like promoting the business, but you still want to put a project out, for the music, for me, the mixtape was probably the best option for us at that time, because we didn't quite have the business model or the plan, but I think putting together the mixtape was kind of like the business plan for what was to happen for the rest of the business across all projects. And the interestingest thing is, we had music, me and my cousin, Jason, we had music that we were putting out, and we knew artists that had music that they were putting out. And everybody's kind of doing their single, or they're doing their album. Everybody's kind of zeroed in on self. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but they're zeroed in on getting their project out to the people. And with the mixtape, we wanted to put an album out, but we didn't have necessarily the product to do that yet. So what I did was I reached out to my guy Spawn, who we've done music with and who's kind of on every album that we've ever put out. We always make sure we get him a feature. But I hit my boy Spawn up, and I was like, I want to put together a mixtape. And Spawn knows quite a few MCs here and quite a few MCs there. I reached out to my other guy, Iron Man, who was kind of a young exec at the time, about any artist that he knew. Reached out to my cousin, to any artist that he knew. I reached out to all the artists that I knew, and what we ended up doing was putting together, I think it's like an 18-song mixtape of just different artists all around. And I gave it to Spawn. I was like, okay, here's 18 songs. Listen to them, organize them, see what you think or whatever. And Spawn, of course, what he does, he does organize and puts, gets a good vibe, I guess, for music, you can say. And so he put the mixtape together, and we put out the mixtape, and it was great. Like, to me, everybody that heard the mixtape, it had such good flavor to it. It had your lyrical rap, it had your spiritual rap, had your gangster rap, it had your conscious rap. It was just like a well-rounded collaboration of everybody putting together their project, or putting a project together, and then listen to Spawn kind of line the backup and how songs should go and getting a good feel to it. So it was like, okay, we have a YouTube channel, we don't have any content, like I told before in the first video, no videos or anything. So reaching out to the artists and being able to put out a project for free was kind of monumental to the actual business planning or the business model in itself. Because if you look at our content on the very first project, we reached out to so many different artists to make it happen. And then if you look at our content now, we reach out to so many different artists to make it happen. Like, whether it's a mixtape, let us use your song, and we want to see if we can collab together, or the Digging in the Crate show, where we're let us use your videos and we're going to put a music show together. It's always been the same model and the same staple, even though at the time we didn't have any funding or any capital or anything to start it, but it's kind of set exactly how the business needs to be set for the future. And so the mixtape was monumental to me as far as a first project, because it showed how to create a project even if you have no money at all. And the people behind, like, just watching my guy Spawn put together the song and the cadence and the feel of it, and having that full playthrough vibe of listening to a mixtape of not like, I want to say like the 50 Cent era where it was like new songs, but it was kind of like the DJ Clue type of collaboration style. So to listen to it and have that playability of being like a all the way through track was kind of incredible. And then the funny thing is we had Iron Man uploaded to YouTube, and it was, I think it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but the computer I guess Iron Man was using was mad slow. And so I was getting hit Iron Man like, yo, did you get it on YouTube yet? Because I don't have a computer. And he had, some sort of a computer, sort of means of a computer. And it was mad slow. So I think we finished the mixtape and we uploaded it. Like we tried on Friday. And I think Monday Iron Man didn't come to work. And like Tuesday, Iron Man didn't come to work. And he said he was just sitting by the computer because anytime he fell asleep, it would start over again. So he would just shake the mouse for like 2 days to upload the mixtape. But once it got uploaded, it is. I like it. It hasn't quite moved the way I think it would move, but I think it's because I was learning. I'm still learning, but I was learning how, to kind of put this project together. I'm just learning about YouTube. I think it's like our first video. I've never really messed with YouTube until like, maybe 2011. So it's like the very first, time I'm uploading anything. And so it was just an interesting experience because, like I said, Iron Man literally took 2 days of work off just to make sure it was uploaded. And we all worked with everybody we could to get as much or the best presented music content, because we want to be known for music as well as the graffiti, as well as all the different elements of hip hop. And, it was like, well, we got to put some music out because that's what everybody, vibes to. And just to see it come together, I go back and I'll throw it on and I'll listen to all the different styles and the mashup on it. It's like the very first upload on the YouTube page. And, this is kind of our monumental step, especially, and we're trying to build and grow the YouTube channel. The mixtape was super important because, like I said, not only was it the first project, but it actually molded and shaped every single project. From the t-shirts, we went to different artists, to the graffiti walls. We stay with Brags for the graffiti walls, but we're looking at different artists for graffiti walls. And, DJs, just working with different DJs and different sounds. Like it really built the staple of, we want to be an underground representative or independent representative. I know people don't like underground, but I myself never want to be anything else but an underground entity, with influence.